Hey soldiers, we've got a major credit card company that is looking you in the face and saying, we're going to directly curtail your rights as enshrined in the Bill of Rights. Okay, we're going to start with one thing and then we're going to do whatever we want to after that, because this will be, kind of the catalyst for, this will be the camel's nose under the tent, the foot in the door for us to say, hey, we're going to control what you do. We're going to curtail your rights via the economy, via your ability to purchase things. Last week, Discover decided to submit that not only would its charge-off rate soar, but it was about to lose millions of customers after it told Reuters that it would effectively oversee its clients by allowing its networks to track purchases at gun retailers come April, making it the first among its peers to publicly give a date for moving ahead with that initiative, which is aimed at helping authorities probe gun-related crimes. And look, let me say this. The authorities don't have any authority to investigate me for a damn thing. There's no probable cause. I haven't done anything. So to the extent someone goes out and commits a crime or is, under suspicion for the commission of a crime, then of course there's an investigative process that can take place with all of your rights and privileges as an American citizen attached to that. But we're not supposed to be living in a country where you can just engage in pre-crime like you saw on Minority Report, or just investigate someone on a whim simply because they are taking advantage of their God-given rights that are enshrined in the Bill of Rights. Now, in the comment section, I want you to weigh in on this. I want to see what you guys think about this, and I want to understand what you think about the solutions that I'm going to offer here in a second. Discover's announcement came after the International Organization for Standardization, ISO, which decides on the classification of merchant categories used by payment cards, approved in September the launch of a dedicated code for gun retailers. So you go out and you go to Target and you buy, a set of towels or some, blankets and comforters for your bed. They have codes attached to them so you can see what you buy, so it can help in marketing. Now they're going to use that technique to kind of see what you buy and see if it's in line with the, global agenda to disarm every citizen of every country. Okay. The pesky little Second Amendment stands in their way here. So they're going to try to do things as an end run around that. This is easy to defeat, guys. We'll talk about it in a second. Proponents of the move, almost exclusively Democrat politicians and gun control activists, say it will allow financial institutions to better assist authorities in investigating crimes involving gun violence in the United States. While the codes will not show specific items purchased, it doesn't need to. Some Republican politicians have spoken out against the move, arguing it could violate the privacy of U.S. citizens lawfully buying guns. You're daggone right it will. Discover said it will include the new code in its next policy and product update to merchants and payment partners in April. We remain focused on continuing to protect and support lawful purchases on our network while protecting the privacy of cardholders. No, you're not interested in doing that at all. Otherwise, you wouldn't be collecting the information. You're not a law enforcement agency, Discover. You are getting into bed with the state, capital S, to quash rights, and it's pretty transparent. Curiously, a Discover spokesperson said, following the publication of the story, that other payment network companies had already decided to implement the new code in April, and that Discover was following their lead. While the Discover spokesman declined to name those peers, it means that any legal purchase of guns now triggers a whole array of red lights and ringing bells across the government, which has taken its crusade against legal gun ownership and purchases to unprecedented levels in recent years, even as gun-related crime in such Democrat-controlled cities as Chicago and Baltimore hits record highs. Right, Baltimore has a bevy of laws that, prevent people, law-abiding citizens, from carrying firearms. But curiously enough, criminals, they don't seem to be interested in paying attention to those laws. Now, look, here's the other thing. I'm a big Second Amendment advocate because I understand the history of this country. And it is a fact, it is a historical fact that when certain groups were not allowed to take advantage of their Second Amendment rights and own firearms, that time coincided with legislated tyranny against those groups. I'm talking about slavery, Jim Crow, and Native American resettlement. Okay, it's just a fact. And this is a historical fact. There's no arguing it. It's there in the record for all to see. We all know what happened. And we also know that over in Haiti, once Toussaint Louverture and Jean-Jacques Dessalines got a hold of some guns, they said, okay, that's it. Slavery's done, over with. The French said, no, it isn't. They had a fight, and they threw the French out and ended slavery. Yes, it is true. Haiti has had a host of other difficulties since then, but they were the first in the Western Hemisphere throw off the shackles of slavery via armed revolt, to extinguish tyranny via force of arms. Two things, ladies and gentlemen. It's a lot more challenging to appropriate someone's labor or their property if that person is armed. Okay, that's number one. Number two is this. Look, when we talk about slavery, check the 13th Amendment. Slavery is not reserved for a certain color or ethnicity anymore. All right. So when it comes to this issue, please keep in mind that if there are no teeth in the Bill of Rights, then you're going to potentially be in a situation where your labor, your property can be appropriated. Look, the founders knew that. Representatives for Discover's major peers, Visa, MasterCard, and American Express, they declined to comment to Reuters on what their schedules for introducing the new codes are. Last fall, the company said they would work to implement the code while respecting privacy rights. They don't give a damn about your privacy rights. They damn sure don't give a hoot about your Second Amendment rights. And if the discovery comment is accurate, it would appear that the code has already been implemented without any public announcement to that effect. A representative for Geneva-based ISO, okay? The I stands for international, okay? Interference in our constitutional rights as citizens of the United States. The ISO said the new code, dubbed 5723, gun and ammunition shops, will be available for financial institutions to use by the end of February. The decision to use the new merchant category code is eventually left up to users in the industry, but everybody's going to use it. Discover handled 2% of the $9.56 trillion purchased on U.S. credit cards and debit cards in 2022, according to industry researcher Nielsen report. Industry leader Visa had a 61% share, MasterCard 26%, and American Express 11%. So Discover is a little teeny small fry in the great scheme of things. So that means they're easier to slap around. They're the small fry. So here's the solution, guys. It's very easy. Don't buy firearms and ammunition with a credit card. Use cash. For now, we still can. Don't put these purchases on a credit card that they can track. Just simply don't do it. And there's nothing illegal about refraining from using a credit card to purchase firearms or ammunition. The second thing you can do is say, well, you know what, Visa? Well, them too. But you know what, Discover? To hell with you. I'm either going to get rid of the card or I'm not going to use it as much. If I use it, I won't put any, I'll just pay it off at the end of the month. That way I won't incur any charges that they can, profit off of. You know what I'm saying? People, you got to start fighting back because these guys they're just, bound and determined to control you via economics. And as long as we are independent minded and hell bent on being financially independent, we can resist that. See, financial independence means much more than just being able to afford the latest and greatest car or the biggest house. Financial independence means remaining free. All right. So, all right, take a look at this report. It's more along the lines of what we just discussed. A government is telling you how much money you can maintain, the better to control you with, right? Take a look at the report, guys. I'll talk to you soon.